Recoup. Today is Friday, January 9th, 2026. I'm Sweets. This is Sid. This is our first Friday check-in of 2026, if I'm remembering right. And we are on quarter one. My main goals are clients. Goal is to have email client, SMS client, and TikTok client. What I've been working on this week is getting the email client into a good state. But before we jump in, we'll start off how we always do in one word. How are you feeling today? In one sentence, what do you need today?
I'm feeling excited. I need some clarity on the Composio integration moving forward. That is my biggest blocker.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
Feeling, I don't know if the word's overstimulated or overwhelmed. I'm going to write overwhelmed. And I need feedback on the email client to tell me what else needs built on email client for responsive email client before we shift into proactive outreaching email client. So email client feedback on the current implementation to know what else needs done on receiving emails and responding to those before we go into proactive outreach. You want to start talking about Composio?
Yes. So, well, wait, actually, no. Before we go into Composio and like the weekly stuff, you're feeling overwhelmed. I want to just double click on that. And also just like how has it been the first week and a half, the new year, getting back into the swing of things with like the new format, the new focus of they're having more time with us. You're still feeling overwhelmed. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
It's not. The overwhelm is a lot more on the personal side than it is on Recoup. I'm not feeling that within Recoup specifically.
Okay, cool.
Other than trying to jump in and review your code before you ship it to me without my review. That's the only thing that's adding on to me being overwhelmed, is just feeling this fear that you're going to merge something that I'm going to have feedback on, and then you don't go back and look at my feedback. So then it comes into my tech debt for stuff that I need to do. But that's a small thing, and I can keep trying to slow you down and prevent you from doing those things through systems. Most
Agreed.
of it's personal, other stuff.
And I respected or I appreciated yesterday when you said, like, you pointed out why me merging it, even though it's working currently, and we need to I prefer to deliver it to the customer on Monday. Why merging would slow you down later down the line, like giving me that perspective of like, then you're gonna have to go refactor this all, helped. And so I appreciate that, and I'm gonna respect those guidelines of like, if it's not a if it's not a UI change where like, it's something simple like, or like, bug fixes, little things like that, and it's more of like a general bigger integration that we have yet to clarify the new architecture for, then I will not ship it to main without your feedback. Cool. Understood.
That feels totally acceptable. UI changes, ship them all you want. Back and move a little bit slower on. Supabase move even slower. The deeper, the more fundamental it is, the slower we should move on the change.
All right, agreed. So to go into the MIQ for Composio integration, we added Composio with Google Sheets with that old architecture before you started the merge.
Yep.
Or API. It seems like I then went in to change that architecture, or to add new tools, and the prompting was around like follow the architecture that's currently existing, but also follow these principles of dry, which is where I came in and said, all right, should we do dry or follow the same principles? And you opted for dry, which is good because then it made me understand, all right, dry is more important than following the thing. If there is a better way of doing it because we're adding things, we have that flexibility of doing it. So that's great. So then I did that. But then as I did that, you notice it wasn't MCP, but all of our other stuff was MCP, which then led the question of like, how can I notice sooner when something is old architecture and I shouldn't build it as is, I should build it towards the new architecture, was my first thought. Is like, I would, maybe if I would have sent you the plan, but even then, I don't know if you would have read the plan enough to like go in and be like, actually, this is the wrong architecture, like, you know. But maybe it's just like, these are just like a couple little things we have to clean up. And once we get past it, it'll be easier to manage this. And this might not be like an issue down the line. But then anyways, to continue the story, as I was doing that, I realized that Composio has a new tool or a new thing that they're pushing called the tool router, which seems like it is a way that Composio can allow you to use a bunch of tools or use all of their tools, and Composio, the tool router, just like allows you to like offer the tool at the point when the customer asks for it and OAuth at that moment. I might be oversimplifying it, and it might be harder integration than that. I haven't found any good videos or any good like, you know, explainers other than that one I sent you. And so my question is like, am I correct that we should, if we integrate the Composio router, it will simplify the addition of new tools, Composio tools? And then the second thing is, when doing that, they have the option to do it as an MCP or as a native tool. And I'm not sure which one we should do if we're going to go down the tool route. I will stop there and get your feedback and thoughts.
We're both talking about the same tool router here, right?
Correct.
So tool router by Composio is a unified interface that lets agents search, plan, authenticate, and execute actions across thousands of the Composio tools. Consider an agent that works across Gmail, Notion, Slack, Google Drive, and hundreds of other apps. The challenge is you need to be able to search for the right tool for the task, context management, and authenticating. The tool router exposes a set of meta tools that handles all this complexity, including search and discover of the right tool in a workbench to process results without flooding context. Sounds nice. It sounds like it gives us a whole bunch of stuff out of the box and it reduces our boilerplate code to need to keep adding things.
It might. I'm not sure. That's where I'm not sure if the tool router is just the tool router and we still need to integrate GitHub, Gmail, Linear, like we've been doing, and the tool router is just like a meta tool that we're adding, or if the tool router enables us to not have to integrate Gmail and Linear and that does it for us.
It looks like it'll do it for us, but you're right. One of us will need to implement it so that way we can see it for certain.
The other question that I had for this is that, like, if we integrate this, we're not just using Composio. So like making sure that like how will the LLM know when to use our tool set versus Composio's tool set? Like, right. Will it always call Composios to like look through things and then be like, oh, no, out of these 50 tools, they don't have anything, so I'll go to the other ones? Or like, so thinking through, like, it seems like it's like might be a bigger not architect, but like just like a little bit more than just adding it and then letting it run with.
The biggest concerns I have are context rot and maintenance. Context rot in their quick start or their overview, they're saying it's not gonna flood context. I do worry about throwing in a bunch of tools. The other one for maintenance, what life is chiefly maintenance, what gets built needs maintained. If we give this open-ended thousands of tools, our customers are going to use one of those thousands of tools. And if there's a bug in one of these edge case tools that one of our customers wants to use, we then need to maintain that, and it diverges our focus on a lot of things that we aren't necessarily intentionally wanting to add and support, and maybe a bunch of parallel things where we could have been very opinionated and said, this is the tool that we're choosing. We're delegating those decisions of the opinionated tool choices to Compazio.
I do believe that the tool router allows you to select which tools get shown. So like if Compazio has 500, but we only want to start with Gmail, I believe it gives that ability to like, or Gmail and Slack or whatever.
Yeah.
I believe we can do that. So like maybe starting with like not giving everything, like what's the minimum tool we, or like, yeah, just use it on Google Drive, like, and see what happens.
But I think that would be ideal. If we use the tool router, bring it in. If we're going to use the tool router, step one, bring it in to our MCP server with only the tool set that we are currently using of Google Sheets, and then verify Google Sheets still works in our backend using Compazio router. That handles the migration, and it's changing how we're using Compazio. So there's two changes there, but two birds, one stone, because it doesn't make sense to copy the Google Sheets code over if we're just going to change it to router. So you might as well just add the router to our backend and then delete Compazio from our front end code base. And then we've migrated. And then once that migration is done and the tools are in our backend, add in Google Sheets, which is something you need for our customer. And then after we've added in Google Sheets, ask that question, do we want to just delete the limitations of our tools and let it do anything? Or even if we don't, hopefully this makes it easier for us to hopefully like one line add in new tool sets, which drastically reduces the overhead for us when Sid wants a new set of tools from Compazio. Ideally, this reduces the work for us to add those new tool sets.
All right. So what I'm hearing then is that it sounds like it would be better if we integrated the Compazio tool router as a native tool in our MCP, not going to their MCP, and then on our native tool in the description say use this tool when customer asks for Google Sheets. And then as we add more ability to the Compazio tool router, we can just literally name when customer asks for this, use this tool to find those tools. And then that way it doesn't always go to the tool router just because it says tool router.
Yep. I do like the idea of using native tools over MCP. MCP is a nice concept. I still find it kind of flaky. It requires you maintaining a more active connection. And this would be us relaying an MCP to our front end. And I feel like there's a lot of room for things to go wrong there. Whereas the tools are something we're already building on tools, and we pass these tools to the front end. And so this feels like a simpler and more robust architecture for us to start with.
I like it.
So
what I'll do is I'll come up with a plan, and I'll stick to what you said. Like, let's see if we can get the Compazio tool router to do exactly what Google Sheets is doing. Say like no deprecation. And if that works, then let's see how quickly we can add Drive. Let's see how quickly we can add the another one, and because like how many the minimum lines of code to add new tools to the feature. The other question I had is that, and this is just based on like less on the I guess it's Compazio integration, but more so around Google. There is separate Google toolkits, and then there is the Google Super Toolkit, which kind of combines them all. And my question is, should we use Google Super or should we use separate ones?
It's my first. You mentioned it, so I heard about it from you. I have not looked into combines all the Google services.
So it's like one login, and you get
Yeah.
Drive, Calendar. Like you don't, they won't need to log in to Sheets and Drive. The issue is that then it exposes all of these tools, and we don't need all of these tools. So we're also,
it's a ton of tools. It's a ton
we're
of
gonna
tools.
we're gonna need to like remove, like make sure that it doesn't expose the tools that we don't need to show.
Right. Which is something we already need to start batching and providing more smaller sets of tools to our model. This would accelerate that process and force function us to need to do that better now instead of kicking the can down the line later.
So let's do that. All right. So what I'm going to do then, the new architecture for Composio is tool router and then Google Super, which means that like if the integration is available across a connections entire suite, choose that option, but then remove all unnecessary endpoints until we want to add them. So like, and that's great because then it allows us to also like, again, in like one line of code, add a new endpoint that we might not have available. Cool.
We're aligned on the path, it sounds.
I am clear. Composio as a native tool, or Composio tool router as a native tool, Google Super integration that just exposes Google Sheets tools is my next, that's what I'm going for. If we can get that, that'll be my main focus.
Why does this need to be live in production on Monday?
It doesn't, but they asked for the Google Drive and Google Docs stuff on Wednesday. So the sooner I can say, guess what, it's live and it's working, and let's now work. Now we can start building on top of what they asked for, rather than like, just customer, the feedback loop for our customers. It's not a necessary thing. Like they're not going to leave if we don't have it live, but it's also like, what are our principles when it comes to giving customers what they ask for?
Yep. This feels like a big change to me. If I was writing this code, I think it would take at least half a week, if not a full week, to test it and make sure everything's working and get all the edge cases and go through review and build the proper architecture. So hearing you say you want it out by Monday, it feels like something where if you're doing that, you will probably merge it. It won't get reviewed, and
so then I'll
probably get a ton of feedback afterwards. So it's up to you. If you want it to go out, do whatever your process is to get it out on Monday, and I'll react after it's out.
No. It's okay. It's okay. I can push it on.
It's a customer thing. So if you say this is really important, like you do it, and I'll review and give the feedback afterwards, and we can deal with any repercussions afterwards. I'm just letting you know, if it was me, this feels like a big architecture change, and I would try to make this right.
Understood.
That's just me giving my opinion. I'm not trying to say this is the way it needs to be done. I'm just trying to give you my experience to help you inform your decision.
I appreciate it, and I want to meet in the middle, figure out a way to meet in the middle. And so what I will do is I will build what I can, but not merge it. But on Monday's meeting, I can still say we're working I'm going to show her, I'm going to demo what I have done, not on prod, but on my dev branch, and I'll say, look what we're doing, this is what it's going on. So she still gets the same feeling of, oh man, they're working for us, they're listening to what I say, which is what I'm, the end goal of why I want to get it out by Monday, right? Yep. Still accomplishes the same thing, but it also accomplishes what you're asking for, which is like, let's really think through the bigger architecture changes and make sure they're done correctly. So that way the plan would be like, let's show her some progress of what she asked for on Monday. Let's get it done and like out the door the following Monday so we can start using it and testing the feature and really like seeing how far we can go with Drive because that'll also really tie in like to Gmail. If she can connect it to this, you'll also start getting her Gmail information, and that fundamentally changes or adds a new development on top of what you can do with your email tool, because now you can also email as the user, not just as Recoupable. And so when does the model choose to do which one is going to be fun. But I think it also, doing this way, will also give you so much more ammunition for proactive responses. If we can get connected to Gmails and Google Drives and all that, and you're pulling all of that information and then saying, here's what's new this week, or here's what happened this week, like that sounds like even doing this is going to amplify your next build as well. Cool.
I agree 100%. That's a brilliant idea to use the preview branch, preview deployments. Because then if she is urgently saying, I need to use this, you can say, here's the dev link. You can use it over here, and she can use it on Monday. But it prevents us from merging things to prod without having a really critical eye on it.
Agreed. All right, cool. My need for this week has been cleared up. I am aligned. We're both aligned. So I guess the next question, we can move on to email client feedback on what you need from me.
Do you have any testing? Thank you. Do you have any testing open on the emails where you could share screen and show me, or I can talk through with a demo, or we can start with you doing a demo on however you're evaluating this on your side.
When we left off, the biggest question, or where did we leave off last time? Because I demoed it generally, and what were the things that you had? What do you want me to demo today? Because I can go through and test stuff, but I don't want to test the general stuff that we've already tested. Like it was tasks. Explain what you did, and then we can demo it and test it.
CCs and when it should reply has been done since Wednesday. The newest changes are the email tool. If you're in Recoup chat and you say send this email, it'll include in the footer the conversation, and when you reply, it has linked those two conversations together, and it knows all the context between the email thread modality and the web chat modality. Both of those are connected. The other one is tasks. I just finished that right before this call. If you have a task that sends an email, in the footer of the email, it'll have the link to that conversation, and that conversation is new on the running of the task. So,
okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go to trigger. Let me share my screen. Let me also pull up my email. Oh my goodness, is this not signed in? Give me a sec. Let me sign in. What I will do is run a task, and then we'll check it out. Okay. All right, I don't need this. Where are you? Wait, are you still here? Okay, yeah, there you are. Entire screen, share, trigger.dev, login, customer prompt, development, tasks. Oh wait, test. Here it is, and then run this test.
need to switch to production in the top left.
Oh, I do?
Yep.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so then I need to go and find a task, right?
Same thing. You should just be able to go back to tasks, and I think it was already pre-populating. It's pre-populating an ID. I don't know if that's the correct one. I would assume it is.
Yeah, I think it's the last. Probably it's the last one.
Mm-hmm. Correct. we'd have more logs than this. I'm surprised. It looks like it did not deploy to main for, it didn't deploy the changes to production.
Okay.
Why didn't it deploy? Mismatch between.
While you do that, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to go make sure that the prompt that I'm or the run that I'm using is simple or
Copy. Yeah, I'm fixing it on my side.
Okay, it wasn't.
It wasn't the right one?
No. So I don't know how long it was, but that's good. But I'm going to wait to run the test until it's deployed.
Just a package out of date is the reason the deployment failed. It has been updated. Git status. I'm pushing this straight to main. Git add package origin main. Don't recommend anybody push to main. Oh, I didn't. Git status. Git commit -m. I update trigger.dev packages. Git push origin main. Okay, we push to main. The deployment usually takes 15 or so seconds. It's not a long. Okay, the deploy is running. Are you sharing? No, you're not sharing.
Not yet. I can now.
No, I just pushed. Mismatch between your CLI and installed packages. We recommend pin versions. This won't end well. Please run the dev command locally and check your CLI. Additionally, all trigger.dev need to match this version. CLI version is 4.3.2. We're on 4.3.2. Maybe this one's incorrect still. PNPMI -D, I think, at latest. Okay.
Nice.
That looks like it updated. Status, git add dot, git commit, same thing, git push origin main. Which package was out of date? It did say trigger.dev build. Okay, so that was the right package to update. Okay. Looks like it's doing it now.
Nice.
Done, 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 done. Okay. It has finished deploying successfully. I will stop sharing and pass it back over to you.
Sweet. All right. Share. Entire screen. Can you see my screen?
We can see your screen.
Run test.
We should see more logs now. There's more logs. Great.
Nice.
No.
Wait, you're muted. What did you say?
It sounds like you just got an email. I just heard a notification on your phone.
Oh. Yeah, but it's not.
Something else.
Apify. Oh, here we go. Boom. Hello world. Note. I directly.
And now you got that link, which is new. Continue the conversation on Recoup. You could reply, but which will also work. But click on the link. So
I have a question before I click on the link. If I don't click on this link and I go to Recoupable, do I see this in my recent chats?
Probably not. The reason is right now I am creating the chat using, I've hard coded my personal API key in there. So that is a chat room created in my personal account. And so when you click on the link, it's going to do the share thing and it'll create a copy of the chat. The more I'm talking about it, the more it sounds like a hack. So if we want this to create the chat immediately inside of the customer's account, we need to, I'm thinking we need to have a skeleton key. Like a lot of landlords will have a key that lets you get into any rental property. We could do the same thing and give us a universal API key that allows us to do things from anybody's account. And that will just mean I need to set that up. That way our tasks can perform actions in any account, which is likely something we already need to do, or I need to just think through better how to pass the access token. Access tokens short-lived from the client, so I don't think we can do that. I think a universal API key is what's needed to really make this on par with what you're expecting. Let me check on my side if I have it in mind by going to chat.recoupable.com. On my side, in my account, I also don't see it on mine. So even if we add it in, I still need to do some additional work to get it to show up on the in your chats.
Okay. Do you feel like this is something that is important?
It does feel important. It does not feel urgent. My thinking is the goal is to get more and more traffic on the email client. While I do think that's a nice button up, I wonder how many of our customers are going to get an email like this and then say, well, let me go into Recoup and see if it shows up on the left side for recent chats. And how many people would click on the link and then it's going to copy the conversation and then it should be in the left recent chats for that customer. Like if you click the link, is it going to be on your left sidebar?
Yeah. If I do that, it will definitely. Oh, well, actually, let me just do this then because I'm already signed in over here.
So even here, we're not seeing it for you.
Well, we are. It's here. So it might, like, if I go like this. No, never mind. It's just it doesn't show up in recent chats.
That's a different one, right? Folder creation in Drive is something else you did?
Correct.
Okay, so let me just make a note. Task chats on left sidebar or recent chats.
Correct. It's also only showing the response. It's not showing the full conversation of the task. Oh, wait.
This was a task that runs. So what else do you want to be there?
The full task. Like what I would imagine we could, like, the first thing we should see in this conversation is the prompt that sent the task. Right. And then the response. And then like the entire thread should be here along with Yes, the if a task, it would be great if a task runs, it shows up in recent chats, and whether the conversation continues in line in on the web app or the conversation continues on the chat or on email, uh, it's the same experience on both sides, you know.
So I'm hearing that it's showing me output, but it is missing the customer prompt, the prompt that the task sent to the API.
It's missing the task that and the response. Oh wait, no details. Hello. No. Yes, it's missing the initial task, uh, the customer prompt. Correct.
Okay, copy. The other thing that you could have been saying is that it's missing all of the parts. It's missing the reasoning and etc., which we are currently not saving into Supabase. We could if that's an important thing, but I didn't hear that in what you just said.
I don't think we need the reasoning and stuff for email stuff like this.
For now.
But it
Okay.
would be nice to have. Yeah, exactly. For now, it would be nice to just be able to see, to pick up exactly where, like if a customer wants to talk in email or they want to talk on web, they can pick up where they left off. Whereas in this scenario, if I was like, it has no context of what the customer asked for, so just like
The original prompt, right?
yeah, it's half of the context. I can't pick this up.
You're right. Okay, that makes sense. I've added it so far. Feedback. So far, all the feedback on the email client you've said is task stuff, gaps that were left from tasks, and not
Well,
as much email.
Let's look at this.
What do you expect it to reply?
My expectation, just knowing how the build or the model works, is it's going to ask me a question back. My expectation would be that, or my like perfect is that it goes and does research on Hello World and gives me a quick summary of like Hello World was a program first made by so and so, and
You mean the original Hello Worlder?
correct. But this is like a terrible prompt, so the model's not going to. If you didn't understand what I meant by it, then the model's not.
I thought you were going to try to see if it knew the context that it had just said hello world, and it would say I just said hello world, or if there was someone else higher up in the stack. But yeah,
let's see
the bad case here would be if it comes back and asks you additional follow-up questions.
No, I won't say it's bad, because you're right. Like in this case, like this is a bad prompt, and there's multiple ways to interpret this, and so it should ask follow-up questions and say, what do you mean, instead of assuming. But without you giving your second opinion, I would have assumed my way was clear and not thought of your version of it. But that's just like a prompting thing, like, you know. Oh, look.
It did yours. It understood what you were trying to say.
I'm cool with that. Now, question would be, so if I open this, it's a different chat. Look.
You're right. Yes, they are.
Are they supposed to be?
Click on, let's check out both of them and see how they're different. So this one's only the latest response. It does not include the original.
But this one does include the customer's prompt.
Right. Yeah. Now let's check that other link. So this is making me think replies to task emails are not. Okay, so yeah, it didn't preserve any. So if you had asked, what did you just say to me? I don't think it would have. If you say it now, it'll say, I told you about Brian Kernighan. But it seems disconnected between
the original
that email and then your prompt are two different conversations. So task email replies, task email. reply, same combo, reply, same combo is a missing piece specifically in the email client. Anything else you want to test on here for task emails?
Yep, give me a second. Well, wait, I'm just going to do this. Let's just keep playing with it.
I expect the conversation that is right below your mouse is what this is appended to, and it is going to give you a link to the photo.
Like right here, because it's saying want sources links.
Because I don't know if it's going to attach HTML to render the photo in line. I think it would give you a link and not try to render the HTML, but I don't. We'll see.
Let's see. This is why testing is fun. What we also might want to do, now that I'm thinking about this, is also in here. Well, this is another just architecture question, right? Is like, I know that this is coming, like the task was started in Gatsby's workspace. And so I know if I ask, create an album cover based off of this concept, that it will pull from Gatsby's knowledge base.
Right.
But I don't think that a customer would know without a little reminder of what workspace this thread is in. So maybe we add a little like note of like artist workspace, or workspace is Gatsby Grace, like so that they like, so that it like some random person attached to this email doesn't also say like, tell me about Wiz Khalifa's album sales, like, you know, and then it's going to be like, well, I don't have that information because you're not in that workspace, you know?
Okay.
So that's just like another thought, is like how making sure that they understand the knowledge available to them. Now, the other question is like, is that the right framework? Because like if they're not in any
active
workspace, then if they asked about Gatsby Grace, it would say, who's Gatsby Grace? And then it would feel like, well, you should know who Gatsby Grace is, which then becomes a question of like, how can we give not users with not selected active workspaces in a organization the ability, or the LM, the ability to know what active workspaces are available and the ability to go and look into them, which sounds just like a tool, like a workspace and context management situation for tooling. Show new messages. I can do that. Quick clarifying cues. Who is him? Oh, this is interesting.
So it's lost the context now. Scroll, and that means that there's a new conversation at the bottom.
Yeah. Should I?
Yep. Okay, so it's not maintaining the thread, which is surprising to me. I thought I just fixed this. It's only going to have your prompt and then the response. Yeah, so each one. Interesting. Can you go back to your email client, and can you scroll back up to your message, your latest message?
This one?
Yeah, click the ... to expand. I want to see the full what was sent. Okay. Interesting.
So it has that.
Yeah, it should have worked. It included the context, which includes the link down at the bottom for the conversation. Can you forward me this thread and I will debug it? This is likely a difference between me using Gmail and you using Superhuman, and I just need to update the thread maintenance to
forward from here.
Yeah, forward. Yeah, and forward it to Sweetman Tech. Thank you. Okay, so I'll write this down as well. Superhuman.
Should I try this? Do you want me to do the same thing in Gmail?
That would be helpful. That would help me to verify this is a client difference and not just. Do you have the same email thread in Gmail or no?
Yeah. Let me pull it up.
Okay, yeah, definitely try that.
All right,
Superhuman
get there.
reply combo. Preserve conversation.
Oh wait, I just stopped sharing. A second share. So question is, do you want me to restart the task and do a new thread, or do you want me to just talk in Gmail to like reply in that?
Reply to the same thread here if you have it.
Okay.
Yeah, reply to that guy and see if what happens. Ask something that
Wait,
it should have content.
This is this chat, right?
Yeah, reply to whichever email you want to. If you want to try that,
let me just reply to the first one, right? Like, and we'll just see what happens, right? And then we'll go from there. Okay.
Great.
And then what did I say?
You said who's the first person that said hello world?
First person that said hello. Oh,
Okay.
What it's an equal prompt.
Great.
And then under it is hello world.
Yep, and it includes the conversation ID. So I expect this to reply with the same conversation, that one that your mouse is on, and
but like,
now it has context that it just said hello world. So now I'm curious if it interprets it how I did, knowing that someone already said hello world in this chat, or if it does the same web search it did the first time, not knowing that it had just sent you hello world.
Let's see. It sounds like I just got one. Boom. Okay. Short answer.
This is great. And then you click the 3 dots are there because it's repeating info, and that is the same chat. So if you click on that, now you'll have an updated chat.
Yeah. So it's
be a difference in the superhuman, how the superhuman client replies. I have so far built this only in Gmail, so I'll make that update so that it supports superhuman. And the MIQ is how do I handle replies to work in any email client and not keep adding client by client.
Correct. Yeah. Because I'm thinking even like other people who might like one person on thread might have Gmail, another might have Superhuman, another person might have Microsoft.
Yeah. Proton, millions of email clients. Okay. Yeah, I'll do a deeper look at that to fix this.
Yeah. So the main 2 things is, one, share or include the original customer prompt in the email chain or in the chain, the conversation, and then 2 is fix the client.
And then also the email footer should include the workspace.
Correct. Yeah, the workspace name, not the number.
Copy. You want the name? That's good clarification.
And the fourth thing is, maybe it just sounds just like a prompting thing, but like let it know that like if it would be a better experience, we prefer it show pictures instead of links to pictures. Like, so HTML. Yeah, if somebody asks like get me an image, they're not going to expect a link. They're going to want to. It'll be better if it shows the image. So like some kind of HTML-ish ability. Don't forget, you can use HTML to make the email to give the customer experience make it a better customer experience.
How would that render in the web interface?
Ooh, good question.
You just going to see the HTML text there? Or do we want to render that HTML in the browser as well?
Yeah, we would want to render it in the browser as well. So it's the same experience, which then sounds like it's a bigger lift than what I'm asking for. So that's a nice to have, but not priority.
Right now, the email replies with text and not HTML. The email client in particular.
Well, wait. I have a question then. Let me just try something then. In this scenario, I'm going to do a new chat. I'm going to say, send me an HTML email that shows a picture of Gatsby. And so what happens when a task or a customer sends an HTML email?
Yeah, so that is the send email tool, which accepts either a prompt or HTML, and then the LLM that is using that tool gets to decide whether it's passing HTML or a prompt. Once you get, you'll get your response there, and it will be HTML, and then I'll show you how. The client's working.
Oh, what happened here?
That is likely Arweave not loading the image fast enough. I'm leaning more and more towards going with a more robust file storage system because Arweave gives us this error a lot. Either Supabase files, or
yeah, look, it's not here either.
Yeah, either Supabase files or Vercel blobs. Looking at price to replace Arweave. I would prefer to do things on-chain and permanent, but it is reducing our customer experience waiting for block times, especially on slower blockchains like Arweave. So likely moving a little bit away from that for some of these things.
Do you want to throw that as a ticket so we have it and remember it, but like it's, we can get to it when we can get to it, whether me or you get to it, but like just having it in a backlog of bugs that need to be fixed.
Yep.
All right, but anyways, I'm still going to reply to this and say, I'm not going to reply. Oh, I'm just going to reply to agent and say, give me a picture of a dog from Google.
Just to verify, after you send that, can you go back to your chat and refresh the page on the web? Yeah.
Refresh it?
Yeah. Yeah, so the image, it's because of Arweave takes longer on block time. So when we get the link back from Arweave, we try to render that image and it gives us null. And so we have to wait. That's not a top tier product experience. So we should get rid of this tool that requires us to wait and get something that immediately gives us the images.
I agree. I appreciate the principle of on-chain when we can until it's affecting customer experience. All right, show this. Here's a quick image. You can it pulls from Upstash. That's interesting. Do you want a specific breed? Okay, no. So it didn't give me this. Then is that because it's not replying with HTML?
Let me take over and share how the logic in the email client is.
Wait. Before you do, let's see what the inline chat says now. Okay, and then it's also not showing here. Let me see what there's an actual image here.
Maybe for the same reason, maybe not.
It won't let me download either. So maybe there's not an image.
Yeah, there's nothing there. Try refreshing. Let's give this like 30 seconds. To
I told it to pull from Google, so like it didn't even have to generate.
So it should not have generated anything.
Correct. This shouldn't even be on.
How do we get the raw text from this email? It might be in resend. Let me check resend to see if we get the raw text. Bedroom pop vibes.
I also am going to go try something else while you're doing that. Is I'm going to go. Oh, wait. Let's go back to. Where am I? Oh my goodness! Here it is.
This is the link that it put. It is using an image, and it gave us an invalid URL. I'll send it to you here in the private chat if you want to check it out, or I can share screen if you want to see how it looks and resend. But it looks like just grabbed an invalid link from Google.
Got
It should have worked if it found a correct image. It should have worked, but that image leads to a dead page.
I'm trying something fun too. I'm going and I have a thread going, but I'm gonna go back and reply to the first one to see what happens. So I'm gonna say make the colors purple in the email you sent. And I wonder what happens here. Is it going to include all of this, or is it going to start a new thread with?
No, as long as you're in Gmail, it's going to continue the same conversation. Well, which did you reply to?
I
actually, it shouldn't matter. It should append this to your same conversation in Recoup, and this will be the latest message, no matter what email you reply to.
This,
okay. Correct.
Which I think is okay for now. I don't know. We'll be able to see if we need to start new threads if people respond to specific things and don't need the context from below it.
Branching a conversation.
Yeah. But I'm curious to see what it does.
My hypothesis is you're not going to get if you're expecting the actual color purple, you're not going to see it.
Because it's not going to append this HTML and then resend this. It's going to.
The LLM is only going to reply with text, markdown text, not with HTML.
Oh, look, I just got 2 emails, a new one. Look at this. Okay.
Oh, you showed me.
Well, wait, hold on.
What it did is one of these is a reply. So the one you're looking at is a reply. The other one is it calling the email tool. So the other one is it calling the email tool in its response. That's why you got 2. This one is it calling the email tool. And this should be a new conversation. And then the other one is an extension of the existing conversation.
808 inbox 808. Oh, wait, no.
That's the same. You click the same thing twice.
Yeah, my bad. It would be this one.
Click the 3 dots.
808.
Oh, that's.
Well, it could still. It is
still in the same. Correct. The email tool, we did want it to connect so that tool call would be there. There's a.
Oh, fun. What is this?
Interesting. And scroll up a bit. Make the colors purple. Interesting. This is where it would be helpful for me to see all of the parts, because right now, as we already know, it's only giving us the output. So this would be a great, because we don't know which tools it called. So we don't see here if it called the send email tool, which I'm telling you it did, but without being able to verify it here, we don't know for sure that that's what happened.
But it makes sense why. But yeah, okay, so maybe we add to your list, add reasoning so that we can verify and have better observability. But in this scenario, what have we learned? Is there anything that you want to add to your?
I'm really surprised it gave you a purple email on both. That I was not expecting. I don't know how it gave you. We're having it generate. We're getting the text. We're rendering it in Markdown. And then we're passing that as HTML. So wait, I guess you were able to.
Let me do this. Wait, let me go here and say, how did you change the color technically?
I don't think it's not going to know it's the code that's written around the LLM call.
How fire would it be if it did?
Because we pass in, we're passing in the messages. We get back a chat response. I pull the text from that. I then wrap it in marked so that it turns that text into Markdown, but it then gives us HTML, Markdown version HTML. I append the footer text, and then we return the Markdown formatted text with the footer. So if it's returning HTML,
What is the best way, like how, like when you're going in to see like what's going on, how do you do it? Do you have one place that you're like are you looking at diverse cell for the observability of what it's doing on each call of this? Or are you going into Superbase and looking at like the conversation and all of the history and like reasoning?
You're asking how am I seeing the reasoning in tool calls?
Not reasoning and tool call. Well, yeah. No, I guess yeah. Reasoning in tool calls is easy because how would you debug this? Is my question. Like, what where would you go to like try to figure out how it did what it did? Here's exactly what I changed. Oh yeah, so it's just explaining like how to change the actual thing, not what happened.
So it gave you the HTML. This is how would I debug?
Regardless of my question, like let's just get back to the purpose of what we're testing for here. What have we learned that still needs to be done to email client before we move on to proactivity?
What's your answer?
Whatever you have written down, and then whatever you just learned that you want to dive in deeper to.
Recent chats should include the emails that are coming from tasks. When you click on a chat from tasks, it should include the original prompt. Email footer should include the workspace name. Conversation should be preserved across any email client are the notes I have so far.
Great. And then add any investigation or anything you just learned with what we just did, like the questions that you had that you want to dive into of how it's doing stuff and why. Like, let's figure out what's going on.
So far, I don't have any notes about this. I'm surprised that it did what it did, but the question is, are we expecting when we reply to this, it's giving HTML or it's giving text? So far, I've been operating when it replies, it gives us text and we format it as Markdown. You just tried to use it with HTML. Well,
I guess that let me rephrase. It worked with HTML, so we don't need to dive into that because we just found out it does it. I don't know how, but it does it. The hiccup that is a bad customer experience is that I received 2 emails when I asked it to change one. So it sends like it appended the original email, and then it also sent us a new one.
Yeah, you did say there, make the colors purple in the email you sent. Your signaling email there. The lowest lift is just don't let the email client call the send email tool. But I don't know if we want to remove the send. I don't know. Do you want to be able to reply and have it send emails?
Yes.
So we don't want to get rid of the send email tool. Sid's gone. Welcome back.
Where did I leave off?
You said yes, you do want it to be able to send emails.
Yeah, I went on to say that we want this. If the intention is to get off web apps and move on to agent as the interface, the agent should have the same abilities as it does on the web app. Mm-hmm. I should be able to have that same or better experience.
So why we had mentioned that we wanted to send an email and then it did. Next lowest lift would be update the email tool, the description of the email tool to say, do not call this tool unless you are explicitly told to send an email. Because in your message, you said update the email you sent, which like how the LLM doesn't know it's currently the LLM does not know it is talking to you from an email client. So another option is we start updating the system prompt for the email client to say this, you are replying within the thread of an email. That way it knows you're replying from the context of an email.
Question, or actually thought, because what I realized, and I don't like, something's going on with the coloring of it, but look, if we go in here, this is here, whatever this artifact is, this is the HTML email, right? It's just being shown as this component. So maybe it does have the HTML email in the context of this. And that's why it was able to append it, and just instead of appending it, it just like remade this exact thing, but it also sent the email, called the email. Yeah, I guess you need to just look into the reasoning and see what the fuck it did. Right? Because I didn't know it even did this. Like, I didn't even know we had this this feature.
I don't know what that tool call is. I don't know what the tool call is, because we were rendering UI there. I don't know if it's the mermaid chart or if it's
what this.
But none of the tool calls should be showing. Well, this is the raw reply. This is a raw text reply. This is probably what our markdown parser is showing when there's HTML. Copy. If you click copy, you can paste it inside of your code editor and see what. I don't know which copy you need to copy, either that outside one or the inside one.
It's giving me the copy table as CSV. What?
What's the internal copy button do?
Oh, good. I recall. No, same thing.
Same thing.
What? What if I just? No, it's just going to do the text. Let me go here. Let me go new.
You just do Command N, and it'll open up a new. There you go. Not helpful. So it's not actually copying whatever's being rendered there.
Yeah. Do you want me to send you this?
I still don't understand what is the problem that you want solved in whatever you're asking me to research. It's a blocker for us progressing on the email client.
The blocker is if the customer's asked to send an email from email, or I'm sorry, if the customer, I guess the blocker, let me try something again. Let me see what happens if we go like this. Send an email to Sweet.
Correct. Tell it to CC you so that you can see it too.
Let's see what happens. What should?
And you're sending it from Superhuman, so it's not going to have the context of the previous reply.
Ah, shit. All right.
You want to copy that text and send it again from Gmail?
Yeah, let me do that. Why? Send an email to with the Gatsby stuff. I'm just going to be very vague.
This will be the last test. After this, we need to wrap up the call. I need to get going.
All right, so I'm just going to say that. So what I'm testing right now is.
You didn't say to CC yourself, so you won't get whatever email it does. You will get a reply. It'll give you the summary, but you won't get whatever email it sends out.
That's okay. Let me see.
This one you will, because you told it to CC. So this is the reply. This is the same type of response you're going to get in Gmail.
But this one, no, but this one's different. It's a different conversation because it's in what's it called?
Correct. And you also have another email that you were just CC'd on.
Oh, let me see. Yeah. Oh, but hold on. I just got this new message. Show.
So there's the response. And then you also, well, I would have just gotten an email and not you.
Do you want me to send that now or just log it's been?
So it's waiting for you to confirm. Send it.
I like that I partially liked and partially didn't like that it did this. I like that it didn't have enough information or wasn't sure, so it just defaulted to like asking me more questions. That's smart.
We have not come out opinionated on, do we want to get confirmation on emails or do we want to opt for send whatever? So right now, yeah, we're in a middle state where sometimes it sends and other times it asks for confirmation for missing. This wasn't even confirmation that you wanted to send it. This was the one you got CC'd on from Superhuman. And you can see that up top, well, no. But if you expand, it was you and then it CC'd me.
Which has no context, which is why nothing's here. Okay, cool.
Correct.
The other one is here's all the context, right? Sent, email delivered, and CC'd me. So it said it's sent.
Did you tell it to CC you in this thread?
Yeah.
What? Okay, so you just got that one from Gmail. Okay. So you get the confirmation here, and then you got an additional email, and that should all be in the same chat thread. So if you go back to the chat in Recoup, you'll see your confirmed send. You'll see the same confirmation.
Wait, am I in the right? No, look, what's going on here? Am I in the right one? Let me go back to, oops, sorry. Go back to Gmail. We're here at 3.5, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let me just make sure that 3.5 is where we were. 8:08. At one point, it changed the email or the conversation. It changed the conversation. 3.5. Fun. Let's see. $3.5. Where is it? Oh, okay. So look, on this one, it looks like it's only on here. It did not include the 3 dots. So let's see. How did I change it? Explain explicitly. 8:08. So conversation on this one was 8:08. And then when it responded to me here, it didn't include the conversation. And then here, still didn't include the conversation. And then here, it does, but it's a new chat. So at some point in this thing, it did a new chat. But it might have been because I sent from in the middle of it, I also sent a new chat here, right? And so it made a new chat because I did something from Superhuman, which then appended because Superhuman's creating new chats, right?
Final questions before I wrap it up?
Go ahead.
No, you. Do you have final questions or thoughts before I click end stream?
No, we can just do what you got on the list, and then I'll keep testing these longer threads.
Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you on Wednesday.